Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir. What it is, sir.
It always helps to talk into the mic.
It does. Rookie move.
You do more. You're on live more than I am. That's almost unforgivable.
I don't know about that now. I don't know about that.
You're on a lot.
I do about
everywhere I go. People say Tyler is on all the time. All of the girls' friends.
Oh,
you pop up on their TikTok and they're like, he is live all the time. I'm like, you have no idea, ladies.
Hey, 3-time world champ. Yeah, no go. Cole says no go on Instagram. I don't know what the hell we did. I'll figure it out.
I followed your instructions to the letter of the T.
You did it right.
I did everything you asked me to do.
Unless we missing a button somewhere. But it worked. I did the same thing I do on my computer. We'll figure it out. No, I did usually when we don't Friday I do a little longer live if I'm done with everything. I usually do it around lunch before on the show days. I do it around lunch right before doing the outline and doing that. And then since we've been back, we're out of TikTok jail. Been doing a little bit
Congratulations.
Bit more. Yeah, congratulations. Awesome. Thank you.
You're gonna really test it today.
Oh yeah. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know if it's because of my accent. Like some things, like I know there are
TikTok
keywords.
Loves some Janet Wells.
Yeah.
Mills. Janet Mills.
Yeah.
Hey, TikTok. We're going to talk about Janet Mills.
There it goes already. Gone.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, wow.
No, that was quick. No, but I don't even know what I said. Like the last time I got banned, I knew the first one because we said that we were talking about
vitamins.
Vitamins.
Yes.
And I said the word.
You can't say the word.
Can't say the word.
Nope.
All right, I've learned. The other day when the last time I got a week-long ban for hate speech, and I was talking about the draft. I don't even know. I wasn't on one. I wasn't talking to anybody anymore in particular. I was literally, somebody asked me who were the players that I played with that went to the NFL. And so I was going down talking about guys we had at Troy and then looked up and boom, we'll see you for a week for hateful speech. So I was like, something I said probably sounded like a word, and then my redneck,
could be
slang. So there you go. Fun times.
That's good.
Fun times. But no, been good, man. We're it was a crazy weekend.
Yeah,
Great, crazy weekend.
Yeah,
got to watch a little hoops. Had a little NASCAR yesterday. Finally hit the winner, Christopher Bell. Had him at plus. I had 20-1 on him yesterday. He hit. So it's a nice little lick to end the weekend because let me tell you something. The 2 Criteria Club plays for the weekend, I could have just I've never been so sick in my life. Lost one on Saturday and one on Sunday due to Wisconsin giving up a 16-2 run to end the game to send it into overtime. They were up 14 with like 4 minutes to play. They give up a 16-2 run to end the game to go to overtime. They lose in overtime. And then yesterday, Purdue gives up like a, 20-something to 2 run to start the second half?
I watched the better part of 3 NBA games yesterday, but I did not watch any of the Purdue game. I apologize.
Yeah,
I apologize to everyone. I know that makes me a bad person. I know it makes me a bad person. I was working on 10 Thoughts. I turned on Knicks, Celtics. Then I went outside, went for a long walk, and then I did my 1-hour run. My knee hates me today. And then last night I watched Grizz Cavs, Thunder Wolves.
Okay, that's solid.
It was a solid day of NBA. I know that makes me a bad person. Bad person. I'm an idiot. Bad person. No defense. No defense. All they do is shoot threes. It was so much better in the 80s. So much better in the 80s. So much better in the 70s and the 80s. That Jerry West.
Those guys.
He was awesome. Those guys were great. These guys, all they do is shoot threes. That's it.
Yep.
But that's what I watched.
There you go.
I did watch a good bit of college basketball on Saturday, though, so I'll be more conversant than normal.
Yes, love it. It was a good week. Good weekend. Got a good week. Got a good, really, we'll talk about it, but really good game tonight now outside the SEC.
Oh, okay.
Probably the best, for me, the best game of the year because I think both of these teams have a legit chance to win the big one.
Oh, so ULM?
It'll be the Houston Cougs at Texas Tech.
Oh, okay.
So we'll talk about it.
All right.
Let's crank her up. Let's do it.
Thunder Wolves was a great game. Thunder Wolves was a great game. Memphis Cleveland was a great game. Knicks kind of folded late. That wasn't as entertaining of a game, but it was. I always like watching Boston. They're good. But yeah, no, the 2 games last night. Memphis and Cleveland, Oklahoma City and Minnesota, those were elite NBA games. If you like the National Basketball Association, and I know most of you don't, I understand. I like it, and so I was thoroughly entertained.
Let's go.
All right, ready?
Let's do it.
I think I actually have the right.
I got a new flavor today. Mixing them up on you. Samuel
says Houston's a lock. An LOCK lock. That's what he says. I'm starting to think Samuel is really Kelvin Sampson.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Kelvin
Sampson.
Thanks
married a young lady from my hometown.
Is that right?
That is accurate.
How about that?
All right.
Welcome into episode 263 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. My name is Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Monday, February the 24th, 2025. Matter of days until we'll be able to go, this is March. This is March, but this is February, our last Monday February show of the year.
Of 2025 ever.
This is the last Monday of February 2025 show. Ever. We will never do another one.
Never. This is it. This is a big show, a big moment for the show.
We'll take your calls, 1-800-SEE-YOU-MONDAY. We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I don't know if I've even had this on the show before. Maybe once.
Oh, yeah?
Strawberry apricot.
Oh.
I think I have. I mean, by this time.
I need to ask Carson if he said that.
Strawberry apricot.
He's a big Rain. Carson loves him some Rain.
Loves him some Rain.
He does.
But the strawberry apricot definitely can taste the strawberry.
Yeah.
And you can taste the apricot. Imagine that shit.
That's why they call it
strawberry apricot. Very good. Very good. It's definitely worth the attempt if you like strawberries. The apricot is really not. It's more, let me see here. My palate is getting very, experienced with these
concession stand reviews.
Maybe that's what it is.
If you start doing that on the shows, I'm gonna personally call in and I'm gonna do like a negative super chat. If you go, I swear I will send in like I will send a YouTube super chat pay me request.
Yeah, it's more of like a tangerine maybe, or maybe a peachish. Don't taste the apricots much. Very good. Very good. But Scoops, the Cooper Chevrolet Buick GMC Hyundai chat is already bumping. And remind everybody right now, they get brand new incentives on the available brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado. With all combined discounts and offers, you could save up to $13,500 off MSRP. Give our good friends at Cooper Chevrolet a call at area code 256-236-4481. That's 256-236-4481. Scoops, we're also brought to you by our good friend Brandon and all the people down at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. We do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Lowrance products. You can get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits. We replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery located right there in Grenada, Mississippi. Or more importantly, go to the online store at ptgoutdoors.com and get your favorite outdoors person something special. That's right, PTG Outdoors. Scoops, I didn't know if you knew this, but we're also brought to you by the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey, County Line Campers, located right there off I-10, exit 38 there in Gulfport, Mississippi. Guess what? It's RV Gross. That's right. It's RV Gross.
RV Gross.
At County Line Campers. Well, right now, if you go get you something brand new, go get you a brand new RV purchase. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to get you a brand spanking new free Yeti Tundra filled with your favorite Mardi Gras essentials.
Wow.
Open 7 days a week. Go see them. And right now, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but right now, you can get a brand new spanking untried Mercedes diesel Class C motorhome right now for only $94,995. That's right. A Mercedes diesel C-class motorhome. That's like a freaking big-time great deal. Go get you one there. Or you can go get you a new Prime Time Tracer bunkhouse travel trailer right now for only $24,995. So go see our good friends at County Line Campers, and they will get you taken care of. And make sure you go follow them on their YouTube channel, especially. If you're listening on YouTube right now, just go right over to County Line Campers, hit the subscribe button, and check out Miss Destiny's walk through all the brand new tours of the motorhomes. They got some, it's kind of, if you're like, I like the Home and Garden TV shows, when they do the fixer-uppers and all that stuff. Great tours, great motorhomes. Go check them out at County Line Campers.
There you go.
All right. All right, Scoops, we got to talk about it. We got to start off because that's what we do. I imagine, there's probably only one other show you do out of your 64,219 podcasts that you do where you can talk about stuff like this. And, maybe we'll get a Josh Henderson show sometime soon. And if we don't get a topic like this on Josh Henderson's show, I'm going to be very upset with Josh.
Okay.
Maine Governor Janet Mills.
Janet Mills.
Had a nice little...
Spin the mills.
Had a nice little feud with public feud there with Donald Trump in the governor's meeting that Trudeau did. The one that Trudeau was invited to, but I don't think he showed up to.
He wasn't there.
But she was there.
She was in his stead.
She was in his stead. She was in his place. But they were talking about Title IX, and she's not going to.
He says, "Is the governor of Maine here?" And she says, "Yes, sir." And here we go. Ding, ding.
Yeah. So, basically, a dispute about she wants to go to court. She does not want to abide by the Title IX rule where dudes cannot play in chick sports. Okay. As you know, if you listen to this show, there's a few things that we don't do here. So if you're new to the show, there's a few things we don't do here. We don't do pineapple on pizza.
No pineapple on pizza.
We don't, if you're going to buy chicken wings, by God, go buy chicken wings. We don't do boneless chicken wings here. Okay. Those are called saucy nugs. We go to Wendy's for those.
Thank you very much.
We go to Wendy's for those. Saucy nugs is spicy. We go to Wendy's for those, but we don't go to a wing store and get boneless chicken wings. And we don't, when we eat corn on the cob, by God, we eat corn on the cob. We don't slice it off and we don't turn that sumbitch long ways and eat the corn on the cob that way. We don't do that.
You do have to cut it off if you're putting it in like a salsa or something.
Okay, well, you can shuck it before. You don't do the slice thing. You either eat the corn on the cob or you don't, right? You don't say I had corn on the cob and you slice the shit off. I just don't believe in that, right? A couple of things we don't do is like we don't call our seltzers beer. Like if you have a seltzer, you had a seltzer. Don't say, you're drinking over there drinking Trulies and you go, I've had 5 beers today. No, you haven't. You've had 5 seltzers today.
Yes.
We don't call our seltzers beer. And the last 2 are really important. We don't do tampons in men's restrooms. And by God, we're not for dudes playing chick sports. Those are staples of the McCready and Siskey podcast.
That is true.
And so if that's something that you're down with, hit the subscribe and follow button wherever you're at. If you're not, we'll see you. I imagine we got that asshole that's on Twitter. What's his name? The big fat dude that trolls me.
Not doing that.
Kelly Turner. Turner. I would go there. This asshole, he is a miserable human being. He definitely I think he does all of them. I think he's for all of them. Every we could be doing a damn Make-A-Wish Foundation video and he's gonna bitch about it. This guy's a freaking miserable human being. I saw his shit like the other day. My wife said something like, somebody said something bad on your video. I said, let me guess. It's Kelly Turner. She goes, how did you know? Did you see it? It's like, no, just a great guess. All right. Anyway, now that I'm off that soapbox, look, here's my number one problem with politics and sports. Okay. I've said this, in my opinion, politics don't belong in sports, but we've used it as a leverage, particularly when it comes to college sports and professional sports, which is what the problem is politicians are trying to leverage human rights and LBGQT, whatever words you want, whatever they're going by now, they want to use that as human rights in sports. Okay. And I've said this, and it's the same thing that I'm going to say about the NCAA going to lawsuits and all that stuff. I don't know when playing college, and this is my whole deal with politics and lawyers and everybody and all kinds of topics. I don't understand at what point in time did playing sports in college become a human right? Like, I got a genuine concern about that. At what point in time did playing sports in college become a right. It's not a right. It's a privilege that's earned that you work your ass off for. And so we're trying to make human rights in sports. And like, if you're that damn good at sports, if you want to play golf or women's golf, go play men's golf. We have that. It's called men's golf. If you want to play volleyball, go play men's volleyball.
It's actually just called, like, Major League Baseball. They don't call it Major League Men's Baseball.
Yeah. Imagine
they just call it Major League Baseball. The NBA is not called the National Basketball Association for Men. It's just called the National Basketball Association.
I mean, I don't understand that. I don't understand why we're trying to make college sports. It's not a right. It's a damn privilege.
Even the NFL Scouting Combine is not called the NFL Scouting Combine for Men.
No.
Just called the NFL Scouting Combine.
Yeah.
Right?
Agree. Wesley said in the chat, says 15 minutes, we're already off the rails. I'm sorry. I got this bothers me. So, but anyway, we're trying to make this a human rights thing in college sports. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And then hitting close to home here. I'm going to give him a shout out. Alex Mayer is Cole Catalano, who's listening right now. What's up, Cole?
What's up, Cole?
So Cole does all of our social media and travels and produces.
I'm gonna see Cole in Nashville for the SEC basketball tournament.
Yeah, and I think he's coming here sometime soon.
Oh, good.
To work on
How
other
about
stuff.
that?
Maybe this weekend. But his Cole's brother-in-law,
okay,
is works in the White House. Let me give you his official title so I don't mess this up.
Okay,
he's got a fancy title.
Oh,
so Cole's brother-in-law is the White House's Director of Intergovernmental Affairs.
Okay.
And so Alex was speaking to the group in that governor's meeting, was speaking to the chiefs of staffs, the leaders of the governor's campaign, the governor's offices.
Yes. The governor's right-hand person.
Yes. And so he was having a meeting with the chiefs of staff of the governors. And this also happened on Friday. And Alex said that Maine needs to follow the law and protect women's sports. And Governor Mills' chief of staff, Jeremy Kennedy, said in a public forum, and I quote here,
"Oh, God.
Fuck you, you asshole," and got up and left.
So Jeremy does not agree with the...
I think Jeremy and Janet are on the same wavelength here, considering he's the chief of staff for Janet Mills.
Kennedy, you said?
His name is Jeremy Kennedy.
I'm looking him up because I'm curious.
Don't do it.
Well, they say you can't judge a book by a cover, but I think you can.
No, I got to do it. Is it bad?
I mean, look, I'm not a great looking guy. I'm not allowed to comment on the looks of other men because, I mean, look at me.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
But in terms of fitting the stereotype, yes.
Okay. We're in there. Okay. So yeah, that was Alex had a fun day of Friday as well. So the Maine is not in. So if you're a dude,
the more you know.
I saw it. I wasn't gonna say it. I saw
it. The more you know.
So long story short, if you are a dude that likes to play chick sports, Maine may be a state for you.
It looks like it.
Maine Maine may be the state for you. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still here on TikTok. TikTok's done turned the page.
All I said was the more you know.
Hey, TikTok has done turned the page. Look at you, TikTok. Done turned the page. Still with you guys.
Oh, this is confirmed. Mary Margaret Olahan. I don't know who that is. She says, following Trump's Friday spat with Maine's governor over men and women's sports, the governor's chief of staff just had a public meltdown and cursed out a White House official. Alex Meyer, the White House's director of intergovernmental affairs, was speaking to a group of gubernatorial chiefs of staff this morning in D.C. when Meyer told them that Maine needs to follow the law and protect women's sports. Governor Janet Mills' chief of staff, Jeremy Kennedy, exclaimed, "Fuck you, you asshole!" and stormed out of the room.
Seems very mature of him at
the
White House.
We just reached out to Kennedy. Full story to come.
I bet you didn't get a reply. It's really good. I always thought, like, can this be life advice brought to you by Cole Walters?
Yeah, I'm still searching.
While you're searching,
searching for more here?
I got some good life advice here. If you are someone that aspires to be a politician, or you are someone that would like to have some kind of career in politics, probably not wise career move for you to go into the White House, and your first time that anybody ever knows your name is because you're in the White House yelling at a White House official, telling them to fuck you, you asshole. Probably not a good idea for your career advancement.
Maine House Republicans are calling for an investigation into the Janet Mills' chief of staff, Jeremy Kennedy. Kennedy, a former Planned Parenthood director, has been a longtime confidant of Mills and is married to House Majority Leader Matt Moonen, the former head of Equality Maine. The more you know.
I bet he voted.
I'm just reading.
I bet he voted. I bet he probably voted for Trump. Huh? Didn't Maine kind of split? That was like 5 votes, and Trump got like 2 or 3 of them. Anyway. All right.
Unfortunately, this behavior is not an isolated incident. Many in the public have witnessed the toxic environment that Republicans often face at the Maine State House. Despite Democrats' frequent calls for civility, members of their party have repeatedly demonstrated verbal hostility when confronted with different viewpoints on key issues impacting Maine people, meaning the people from Maine, not Maine people. Because we're all important.
That's right.
We're all the Maine people.
No question.
But we're all not Maine people from Maine.
All right. Little NFL here. Then we're gonna move along. Nothing like a little transition from Jeremy Kennedy to the NFL. After a short break, Scoops. After a very short break, what it felt like we had like a week of no NFL. The NFL, as you have liked to say, is back on the main stage. They know how to.
They took a week off.
They took a week off. For the next 51 weeks, they will own the sports world.
Well, they'll take a brief break in like late June, early July.
Yeah, kind
of. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. There'll be somebody talking about it, right?
Yes, there will be 14 people who today, for the 17th time, we go through the AFC South.
That's right.
Today, the Houston Texans. By the way, next Tuesday, the Houston Texans.
Every Tuesday.
What has happened this Tuesday? Nothing. But today we preview it again.
That's right.
Week 7 at Cincinnati.
I mean, example, you have Sports Center on over here, and the last 5 minutes have been nothing but NFL. So they're back because the NFL Combine starts this week.
NFL free agency window opens March 10th. So we will now take the next 15 days and break it down.
Well, they got even better. Like they've given like a week of content because the official day that it opens is like 14 days after you have to declare if you're going to basically re-sign them or not. Yeah. So you got a 14-day tampering window, like a recruiting window, because then when it actually goes live, everybody gets signed like right away. So, but the NFL Combine will start this week. People actually started reporting yesterday. Quarterbacks a little bit later in the week. And there's been a lot of people. Somebody said on a live today, and I saw somebody in the chat earlier, a lot of people making big deals about players not working out at the Combine. And this is nothing new. And the one that was literally, as we started the show, was on the TV, was Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people are like, oh, he's not working out at the Combine. Well, like, I know the people who are complaining about that. I know you just started following football because of Colorado. But this is not unusual for quarterbacks not to work out at a Combine or not throw because they want to. You got one shot, and you got a lot of impressions to make. A lot of times these quarterbacks want to do their own pro day that's controlled under their environment, under their script and things like that so they can perform better. So that's nothing unusual. The interview part, we need to get AJ on here and tell a story about his interview questions if he'll do it. AJ had some really good interview questions when he went to the Combine.
So you're saying you have one shot that's important?
The first, well, if you got all those teams, let's say Shedeur Sanders goes and he decides to work out. Okay. And he doesn't do well.
Okay.
For whatever reason, he could be dinged up still from the season, whatever it is, hasn't thrown enough, whatever. And you're not throwing to receivers that you throw to.
So you're saying you have one shot or just one opportunity.
Yeah. And if you go there and he does, let's say he didn't perform well, no matter, and if it was bad, it's just a risk versus reward thing. Regardless of what happens, I mean, he's going into the Combine probably the second quarterback off the board.
So the question really is, I mean, in that moment, you have to either seize everything you've ever wanted in that one moment,
Yeah, it's good advice. Whoever's
the question is, would you capture it or let it slip away?
I think go ahead. I've walked into that one. I watch these videos on TikTok all the time about people doing the song lyrics, and I see people like, how do y'all not know that's a song lyric?
Because Shedeur, maybe his palms are sweaty.
Maybe his knees are weak.
His arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous. But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now. Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Blow.
Yeah, I don't think – here's the thing, to all kidding aside. That's great. I see people do those videos all the time on TikTok and stuff. And I'm like, how do y'all not know it's a song? Oh, you got like 4 lines in on me before I figured it out. Good job, Tyler. But like in his case – he's going in probably as the second quarter.
Asshole.
Yeah, that's right. He's going in as the number 2 guy off the board probably.
Yes.
But Jackson Dart's got a lot of momentum. Okay. Mm-hmm. Quinn Ewers will be the guy you're talking about after this week. Quinn Ewers is going to be a guy. If he goes in and doesn't have a great in front of everybody in the organizations are there, if he goes in and doesn't have a great week, then all of a sudden, no matter what he does on his pro day, they're going to remember that. It's just a risk versus reward, right? If you're a guy that's trying to move up, yeah, you want to go and compete.
I just got to tell you, we got lots of time to do this, so no sense in dialing all into it today. I know you and I differ on this, and I'm going to defer to your football expertise, but I got to tell you, I got a top 5 pick, and I walk out of that draft with Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. I am a nervous wreck.
I'm okay with Cam Ward. I'm not with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. I
don't understand. Like, I hear
nothing against Shedeur.
I get it.
I mean, I hope he does well. He seems like a great guy, and same with Ward. I've met Cam Ward before. Nice, really nice person. I'm just I would hyperventilate a lot. I think if I were an NFL GM and I had a top 4 pick and I walked with one of those guys, I think I would be like, I would need my paper bag.
Well, I don't think there is, in my opinion, I don't think like Cam Ward is the only one in this draft, in my opinion, that I would even consider it. It's a quarterback league. Okay, so the position is going to we got all kinds of time to discuss this. With all that being said, Cam Ward is the only one that I can sit there and go, all right, look, if he gets with the right guy, we can do something with this guy. Because, and I heard Chase's stuff on the show a couple weeks ago. He's talking about, well, he threw too many picks at 10 yards, 9.7 yards and under. Watch him play football. He does some stupid shit, okay? But in the National Football League, the reason he could do stupid shit at Miami was because they had no one else to put in, and he knew it. And he took too many risks with the football. But from a talent standpoint, dude, he can get it. I mean, he's legit. Cam Ward is legit. Now, Shedeur Sanders, I think Shedeur is a one-arm slot thrower, and I think he's going to struggle with accuracy in the NFL game, and his pocket presence is terrible. But I don't have him too. I have Jackson Dart and Quinn Ewers right on top of each other as 2 and 3, and then Shedeur is 4 for me. So, but I know that he is going to get taken before the other 2.
Okay.
So that's just kind of how I'm at. But I think Quinn Ewers. I think people are going to be surprised with him when he works out. I'll just say that because I think he's healthy. I think you're going to see a range of arm talent that a lot of people probably was not aware of. So.
I bet Quinn Ewers is going to say, I'm back to the lab again. Yo, this old Rhapsody. Better go capture this moment and hope it don't pass him. That's what he's going to say. Take this.
No doubt.
He's going to say, you better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yo, you better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go.
Let's go.
That's my words of advice. That's my life advice. Presented by Cole Walters of State Farm Insurance. Cole is licensed in auto, life, home, health, business, even pet insurance. For the whole state of Georgia, contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at ColeWaltersInsurance.com.
All right. All right. One more thing, football thing, and we're going to get to basketball. So Tennessee and Nebraska, I guess it's Friday maybe, late Thursday, Friday. They canceled their
late last week.
Late last week, they canceled their series for 26 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Danny White was what he says his word was. He was disappointed, I guess, in the scheduling late and all that stuff. I get it.
I mean, I understand the disappointment. Go ahead.
All right, here's my thing, right? Here's where I'm confused. And so for the people who don't know, football scheduling takes place so far out. Okay, like many years. All right, here's my question to you, okay? We've had 1 year of college football playoff, and now we're talking about the landscape of the playoff and how we're selecting the playoff is changing so much, so fast.
Right.
I don't know. It's a gamble. But if you told me, like, look at this past year. What we were talking about earlier was even probably more than I thought it was going to be. It was the race to 10 games. They didn't care who you played.
Right.
Like the strength of schedule had no impact.
They did care about number of losses, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like in the strength of schedule part, basically had no impact on the schedule.
No.
What did matter is how many wins you had and how many losses you had.
Yep.
If I knew that was the case, and I knew that was the case going forward, I would never schedule it. I mean, everybody I would play every.
If you're Nebraska, you
I play 4 home games against every directional school I could find that would come in and take my money and start off the season with 4 wins.
For sure. If I'm Nebraska and I can either play Tennessee or ULM, who am I playing?
Right. And so I understand that part. Now, here's my next question but because scheduling takes place in the way it is, my question for you is, with all the change that's going on in college football, how long till we get a basketball version of the selection committee?
I don't know.
To where, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know.
It could happen in the next few years. It could not happen. But if it does happen, now you're going to want these games on your schedule.
Well,
so I get it, but
I guess their thought is that, look, you're asking me what I think is going to happen. I think the SEC is going to a 9-game schedule, for example. I do.
I do too.
And I think the SEC and the Big Ten are going to have and this could be part of this, where no one wants to say this out loud. Instead, everybody wants to do the virtuous stuff. It could be very clear. If you told me that people were quietly told, hey, clear your books, because we're going to do a TV contract, Big Ten SEC, that takes care of everybody for a new stream of revenue. Maybe we're going to put these games on Amazon or Netflix, or I don't know, right? We're going to have this SEC Big Ten conglomeration in week 2 of every season. I don't know. I'm guessing. I think it'd be a revenue stream. And so they're going to be looking for revenue streams. I just have 2 overriding thoughts on scheduling. One is, if you're going to be professional football, play a professional football schedule. The Chiefs don't play ULM. They don't play Saskatchewan or some team from Beijing. The Chiefs play the Bengals and the Titans and the Seahawks and the Giants and the Commanders. They play NFL teams, right? So if you're going to be pro football, play a pro football schedule. And again, when's anybody going to think about the fans?
Oh,
when are y'all going to think about the fans?
That left the station a long time ago.
Because I'll be honest, and this won't be popular with a lot of the people that I cover and stuff. If I'm a fan of an SEC school, I'm just being honest. I'm not spending my hard-earned money to come to a game that I know getting there is at minimum 51-0. I'm just not. You're not having my money. Now, I might come and I might go tailgate at the Grove or outside of Tiger Stadium. I might hang with my buddies. I might meet at a sports bar and watch it. But I'm not spending my hard-earned money to get into the stadium and sit among a bunch of drunk, sweaty people so I can sweat with them for 3.5, 4 hours while the guy in the big red hat down there holds up a sign that says 7 minutes and 8 seconds every 4 seconds. I'm not doing it. So, but that's where fans, you guys as fans, you got to decide. You got to decide, what am I willing to pay for? And yeah, if I'm an Auburn fan, am I paying for the Auburn-Georgia game? Of course. Auburn-LSU? Sure. Am I paying for Auburn-Mercer? I'm not. And if you do, that's your deal. But until people say, I'm not doing this anymore, I love Auburn, but I don't love it that damn much.
Well, that was my thing, right? As we were talking about doing a Big Ten SEC deal anyway, right? I just assumed, and this is where I was wrong, and I will obviously tell you guys when I'm wrong. I assumed when I saw that canceled last week, that was Friday because somebody asked me about it on live. I assumed that was because of the meeting that took place. They were going, you're talking about doing this Big Ten SEC game, like that extra game. I just assumed, hey, we're going to cancel that game so we can schedule the other one.
And they're not announcing that. So instead, it's possible. I don't know. Maybe the Nebraska guy is being honest when he goes, well, we did a bunch of research about, I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, there's a lot more in there than I thought it was just a simple, hey, we're going any kind of out-of-conference Big Ten SEC games we got in the next few years, we're going to scratch them and start over.
That might look like collusion or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not an attorney.
All right.
I mean, I wish I were sometimes because that would be cool.
That would be great.
I would have been a good attorney. I would have really liked it.
But look, and I heard maybe it was this morning. I'm starting to get my shows backwards. I was listening to one of your shows at some point in time the last couple of days, in my travel. You were talking about some of the fan, some of the fans. That's who's getting screwed here.
Yeah.
But here was my thing though, and the fans. That's kind of who I've been like waiting for them to get pissed off because that's the only thing that's going to create change.
That's it. They don't seem to be.
And they haven't to this point.
I've said this for a while. This is where people like you and me just might not be dialed in enough to that. And this isn't a knock on me or you or them, but there might just not be enough emotional attachment on our part to fully understand sort of where they are. Right? Because I'm not giving money to a collective. I'm not buying season tickets. I'm not paying for parking. I'm not doing those things. And I'm not going and tailgating for hours with all of my friends. And that might very well, and I don't mean this as an insult at all. None, zero. It's just a thing. It's possible, and I can see this, if me and 8 to 10 of my best friends in the world get together at Tennessee or Texas or Ole Miss or Mississippi State or wherever, right? And you tailgate as a group and your families have become close and this is what you do and you go to games and I get it. It means so much to you that it's like, okay, yeah, maybe it's a little more here or maybe the product's not quite, but that's not really what we're there for, right? That's just part of it. Okay. And I kind of think like Jeffrey Wright tells me that I'm right, but I'm ahead. I'm early. I don't, there's sometimes I think that most of the time I think I'm just wrong. That there's such an emotional attachment to alma mater for 90-something% of people. And it means meaning the whole experience means so much to them that even when it gets visibly screwed with, they just overlook that because you love it that much. It's almost like you go watch your kid play basketball. And even though your kid sucks and he never scores, you're still there cheering.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's your kid. You love him. He's your kid. He's running up and down the floor. He's trying hard. He's going to come home later and say, "What'd you think, Dad?"
With his juice box.
And you're with his juice box, and you're going to go, "Man, you were awesome, little Johnny." And I kind of think it's something similar to that. And I mean that in a nice way. I don't mean it critically. But I don't – that's why I don't think professionally you could get away with that because people have a different type of connection to professional teams. It's not as emotional, I think.
Like I think – all right, here I think we're in an interesting situation right now in college athletics, obviously. No shit. So they did the collective thing, right? And it was about pay for your players, pay for your players, pay for your players. And guess what happened? Every year – this thing started seeping, booster fatigue started sinking in, right? And then
supposedly,
well, it has.
Okay.
I mean, it has. I mean, from a whole.
Okay.
As a whole. And so what happened? We made the change. We're going to ref share. Okay, now the schools can pay for it. And so what schools are doing is they're doing this research. Ole Miss, what will people pay for? We're going to find what they will pay for. Are they going to pay for the Grove? Okay, so we're maybe moving. It's a freaking fugazi, it's a fugazi, but it's a shell game. They're moving. They're moving what they're charging people for. Tennessee basketball. All right. Hey, we're going to take. We're not getting as much money collected. What will you pay for? Oh, they're paying for basketball tickets for a basketball team. So if I got to sneak in a 10% increase or whatever it is, they'll still pay for that. If a $50 ticket turns into a $55 ticket. All right, they'll pay for that. What will they pay for? They're just moving the goalpost around trying to find what fans are still willing to pay for. And I think that's the mode that we're in right now. You're seeing everybody get creative about how they are. I mean, hell, I just read an article today on, was it AP Sports or something? I read an article today about Marquette. What will they pay for? Beer at the basketball games.
Yeah.
So they're selling their own brand of beer at the basketball games.
Yeah.
And they get, so what I think people are getting creative and finding out what their fan base will pay for, and they're using that to the strengths there.
Could be.
Do you know what else, Scoops, while we're talking about that? Do you know what you should pay for right now?
Oh, man. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is a camper. Then I start thinking to myself, a Kia, a Wendy's hamburger. Those are the things that come to mind. What else?
Right now, there are big savings happening right now at Kia of Meridian. You can get $10,000 in rebates and 0% financing on select vehicles. Plus,
I'm appreciative.
For a limited time, we're matching your down payment up to $2,500. That's right. More car for your money all month long at Kia of Meridian. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. So if you need, we're trying to find a way to stretch money around here. You're like, you know what I can do? I can go to Kia Meridian. I can drop down $2,500. You know what they're going to do, by God? They're going to match me.
They're going to double it.
They're going to double it. They're going to match you on your down payment for your Telluride.
You're going to walk in there and go, here's
your Sorrento.
Here's $2,500.
Your K5.
You're going to say, here's $25. And it's almost like they're going to go, watch this.
Hey, hold my beer and watch this.
And they're going to put up the little curtain and go, abracadabra, alakazam. And when they lift the curtain up, it's not $2,500 anymore.
It's not $5,000.
It's $5,000. It's like magic.
How about that? Kia Meridian, where great deals drive home when you give our good friends, Trav, and all the good folks down at Kia Meridian a call at area code 601-483-6444. And, oh, yes, I haven't forgot. In the event that you decide to buy Kia Meridian.
Wait, hold on. Just let me brace myself mentally.
Trav's going to break it out.
I think he's getting ready to talk about Trav.
And he's going to let
Trav's going to break it out. He's going to pull it out.
Spin the wheel!
Oh, the wheel, thank God.
And win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia Meridian. And you know what else, Scoops?
No.
We're also brought to you by County Line Campers.
Yep.
The official RV. Every time I'm reading these ads, I'm thinking about that asshole that commented on that video about 2 weeks ago. Y'all do too many ads. Watch this. Hey, South Mississippi, why settle for a regular getaway when you can take the party on the road? That's right, County Line Campers, the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey. We're kicking off the annual RV Gross sales right now at County Line Campers, where if you buy a brand new RV or any new RV purchase, you get a free Yeti Tundra filled with your Mardi Gras essentials. Whatever you want. 7 days a week. Come see them right there at Gulfport, Mississippi, off of I-10 exit 38. Make sure you go to YouTube. Check out, hit the subscribe button. You're on YouTube right now. Just hit the subscribe button. Follow Carolina Campers. Check out Miss Destiny's walk-through videos on their YouTube channel. And make sure, how about this? How about this?
How about it?
How about that? You can get brand new right now an FR3 Class A motorhome with a bath and a half.
Oh, my gosh.
A bath and a half. For $149,995.
There's no way.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Or you can get a brand new Cardinal 4-slide front living 43-foot fifth wheel for $59,995. Right there at County Line Campers in Gulfport, Mississippi. There you go.
How about that?
How about that?
Wow.
I know Rob and all the people down at County Line Campers and Trav, they're just waiting. I can't wait to do my TV spot for them. They're spin the wheel! And $99.95 off I-10 exit 38. People are like, who is this nut doing ads on TV? Like,
it would be a fair question.
Who is this guy?
I love that guy that's like Coleman Campers or something. And he says, come on down and buy yourself a mobile home. Or don't. I don't care.
Yeah. Or don't. Whatever.
He goes, they're damaged. They have stains. We cover them up.
What is that? Who is that?
It's like Coleman Motorhomes.
That's great.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh.
He says something about when his girlfriend's husband came over with the crowbar and hit him in the mouth. He ends it with, so come on down and buy yourself a mobile home.
Or don't.
Or don't. I don't care.
That's great. That's good stuff. All right. All right, let's get some hoops there, Scoops. You want to get some hoops, Scoops?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's hoop it up.
By the way, this came to fruition last year. So we talked about last year about this time about the teams that are in the Magic KemPom formula, top 21 offense, top 31 defense.
Yep.
Where this is pre-tournament, before the tournament starts, where 96% of the national champions have come from this deal.
Okay.
Right now, there are only 9. Have you already cheated and looked?
I've not.
Okay, there are only 9 teams. So what it is teams that are top 21 offense, top 31 defense.
Top 21 offense, top 31
defense, yes.
Okay.
There are only 9 teams. And 96%, since they've been keeping up with analytics like 20-something years, only 96% of the champions have come from this pool pre-tournament. Do you know who the 9 are? Can you guess them? Let's see how many of the 9 you can get.
Auburn.
Auburn is 1.
Okay. Florida.
Florida is 2. Not number 2, but is the second.
Right. Houston.
Houston, 3.
Duke,
4.
I'll say Texas A&M.
No.
Tennessee.
No.
How about that?
This is when you're filling out your bracket. Y'all remember this conversation because these teams usually make a run. Auburn says hello last year.
Marquette?
No. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 right now.
How many are there?
9.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is 5.
Okay. Kansas.
No.
Take that, Bill Self. Or don't. It's up to you.
The chat's trying to help you.
Iowa State.
Right. Iowa State, 6. You got 3 more. If you get 2 of these, I'll be impressed.
Can you tell me a league?
There is 1 Big 10, 1 Big 12, 1 ACC.
1 Big 10, 1 Big 12, 1 ACC.
Clemson, 7. Got 2 more.
Big 12. Arizona?
That is correct. You got 1 more left. That's 8.
And Big 10.
Big 10.
Big 10.
Which is very interesting. They are the only Big 10 team in this conversation.
Michigan?
No.
Illinois?
No.
Michigan State?
No.
Purdue?
No.
Northwestern?
No.
Iowa?
No.
USC?
No.
UCLA?
No.
Rutgers?
No.
Penn State?
No. It's the
Minnesota?
No. This is the team we're going to talk about because nobody's talking about them. I brought them up about a month ago. And they are good.
Nebraska?
No.
Missouri? They should be in the Big 10.
The SEC. Give?
Yeah, surrender. Ohio State.
Maryland.
Aaron Wiggins?
Maryland.
Aaron Wiggins saved basketball at Maryland, and now he's saving basketball in the NBA. Wiggs.
Dude,
I love Aaron Wiggins.
Maryland, look.
Carson's favorite player, Aaron Wiggins. That's when you know your son's like kind of crazy, a little bit like fanatical.
Yeah.
You got a team that's got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, not only 1 Jalen Williams, but 2 Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and his favorite player is without a doubt Aaron Wiggins.
You look at Maryland, all right, so Maryland's sitting here. They're 21-6, okay? They've won 10 of the last 12, all right? And when you look at them analytically, the whole year they've been top 20 in both. They're a really balanced team.
Yeah.
But when you look at their KemPom, their analytics, you know how they do color code, right? For green good and red bad. Everything's green. They don't have
Chris Lander used to do that. He'd color code players. This team has so many blue players, red players, yellow players.
But when you just look at their analytics, they're good at everything. They're just a really balanced team. They really don't have overly giant weakness anywhere. They've lost, they lost 2 road games. The only home game they've lost all season, they had a 2-point loss in November to Marquette at home. They haven't lost another home game the rest of the year. They've lost, in overtime to Northwestern, back in middle of January.
No, they're 11 in the net, 6-5 quad 1, 5-1 quad 2, 2-0 quad 3, 8-0 quad 4. There's sandwiched between Gonzaga and Kentucky.
But that was surprising to me that of Wisconsin, of Purdue, of all these Big Ten teams, the one that's kind of, and they've been consistent the whole year. They've played consistent. Is Maryland.
I'm a little surprised
Michigan's had a good year.
Missouri's not in there.
Yeah, so
Missouri's 15 in the net. They're now 6-7 quad 1.
So if you look at Missouri, Missouri is 6 offensive efficiency, 53 defense. 53, but 6 offense, 53 defense. So defensively.
What is Alabama defensively? Because that's what's going to kill them.
Alabama is 47.
Oh.
3 offense, 47 defense.
What is Kentucky? Because Kentucky's interesting.
All right. Kentucky's 63 defense.
Okay.
5 offense. Here's Kentucky's deal. Is when Kentucky, they're allegedly getting the 2 guys back before the tournament anyway. We may not see the best Kentucky team we've seen until they get to the tournament. Is it going to be too late? They get their two guards back. One for senior night, I think. So here in the next week or so. But they're their best defenders. So do they get their guys back and then start making a run in the tournament? Because they can score. But they're out there playing with no guards right now. It's not very good. Not fun to watch.
Someone in our stream has fallen victim to NBA Centel. It is a very good parody in NBA account.
Yeah,
and they have taken the bait.
What was it?
About Joel Embiid.
What did he? What was?
Well, he's having knee problems. He's probably gonna get shut down, and so they tweeted that he had retired. He is not retired.
Gotcha. Yeah, Grind says in the chat, I see you, Grind says, just not a believer in Kentucky going for Pope. Had never won an NCAA tournament game. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's like Kentucky, I want to see them healthy. Kentucky can beat anybody, but they don't defend. And I said, I was wrong. It's nothing I was wrong on. The other day I said Alabama's going to score 100. They didn't. They scored 96. So I was close. I was 2 buckets short. All right. Let's go over review, preview, and then we'll get everybody out of here today.
Real quick, I want to tell you that would be the fresh move of the week, brought to you by Wendy's. When it comes to making the best hamburgers around, basics matter. And Wendy's, well, they've got those basic burgers, basics on lock, and boy, does it show. So what's the secret to all those hot and juicy hamburgers? Simple. Wendy's always crafts their hamburgers with that fresh, never frozen beef they're famous for. The result? Hot and juicy, beefy hamburger perfection every time. No matter which hamburger you order from the Wendy's menu, you already know that thanks to those Wendy's burger basics, it's going to be exactly what you were craving. I mean, as long as what you crave is a hot and juicy hamburger. I mean, if you're craving something else, ain't nothing. That's not.
Move to Maine.
That's move to Maine. Move to Maine. That's right. That's exactly right. But if what you want is a hamburger made fresh just for you, Wendy's has it. After all, the perfect burger doesn't spend its time waiting around. So when you want a hot and juicy hamburger made fresh just for you, it's got to be Wendy's. Fresh is kind of their thing, It's available in the entire contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada, not Hawaii. Go to Wendy's. Taste the difference in a hamburger. Speaking of tasting the difference, listen. When you go order a beer or buy beer at the grocery store, you don't want random, everyday, anybody could make this beer. You want Parish Brewing Company beer.
Ghost in the machine.
That's exactly right. You got Ghost in the machine. It is a double IPA. It's brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from their favorite farm in Yakima Valley, Washington. You can expect pungent grapefruit aromas and flavors of tropical fruit, less harsh bitterness than most double IPAs. Man, they've got the Dr. Juice, they've got Envy, they've got Canebrake, and more. Wherever you buy beer, you should look for Parish Brewing Company. And if you're like, hey, today's not the day. I can't have a beer today. Okay, no pressure here. But you're like, yeah, but I really want that relaxing feeling I get when I get a beer. And I'm like, okay, well, have a beer. And you say, I can't. I told you I can't have a beer today. I don't need the calories. Well, let me tell you, fear not. Fear not. You know, somebody, if I were the chief of staff for the governor of Maine, I'd say, screw you, asshole, but not me. No, I'm going to tell you, I got you. I got you.
Easy.
Shh, this is easy.
It's easy.
This is easy.
Easy.
Try Easy Hemp Go. Let's talk this calmly because we want people to be calm.
Talk about vitamins this time. Fresh off the suspension.
Easy is a vitamin-infused sparkling water.
That's right.
It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative. It's a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural. It's made with real fruit. There's no added sugar. It's low-calorie. It's gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of vitamins.
Vitamins.
With Easy, it's easy to avoid that gummy scare. You can control your experience. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
There's no ghost. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit Easy. It's a 4-letter word. Starts with an H, ends with a P, includes an E and an M in between the H and the P. Co.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with vitamins derived from initials and then another set of initials.
H and C.
Extracts from those.
Tyler, H and C.
C. It's for people 21 and older.
It is.
And please, enjoy responsibly.
Yes. Just one will do you right.
Just one.
Grind is in the chat. Grind, did you get one? Grind's supposed to give me a review. So he said he's going to try it. He said thumbs up. So I think he tried it over the weekend.
You're right.
I'm a fan. It's good for my sleep. All right.
Make the magic
college basketball. Sorry, say football.
Just one night.
Auburn, the Auburn Tigers, beat Georgia at home. A really good game, actually. Georgia, they played their ass off. They beat them 82-70. Not the score, not really an indication of the game. Georgia had the ball down 5 inside 2 minutes. So they had a 2-possession game with the ball inside 2 minutes, and then Auburn stretched out late. No Tucker. Auburn's good, obviously, but Georgia's they're playing better. They just schedule.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Georgia keeps saying, I did my best.
Did your best?
I guess my best wasn't good enough because here we are back where we were before. Seems nothing ever changes.
You just got song lyrics just pull up on
We're
your
back
computer over there.
to being strangers, wondering if we ought to stay or head on out the door.
Okay.
James Ingram, man.
I got it.
He was awesome.
Florida,
I wonder if James Ingram's still around.
No idea. Florida 79, LSU 65. This game LSU was pesky, but Florida went on like 2 hellacious runs. 14-0, 18-2, something like that.
Florida's good.
Florida pretty good. And when they get there, and they're not 100% yet.
I got to tell you, that Florida-Auburn SEC final, if we get it, if both teams decide, hey, you know what? We ain't got nothing to lose. Let's play. That could be fun.
That could be fun.
That's where if you're Bruce Pearl or Todd Golden, you're like, maybe we ought not do this today.
I don't know. I think you cut them loose and see what you got and kind of give them.
Isn't that the game where Florida had that's a kid broke his leg last year, right? SEC title game.
Oh, I did forget about that.
This is where I'm telling you, man, that SEC tournament, you get to about the Final Four of that thing, unless it's a team that somehow is like Vanderbilt or Arkansas or Georgia or Texas or somebody. If it's the big boys, they got to all look at each other and go, hey, what are we doing?
I mean, it may be like that on Friday. I mean, there's going to be some matchups. This is going to be a fun tournament. It'll be the most fun SEC tournament that I can remember.
Oh, the Friday has a chance to just be electric.
I bet the tickets are going to be nuts. I bet attendance will be better too. But Florida's good. They went on 2 massive runs. in that game and did away with them. All right, Alabama 96, Kentucky 83. Game was back and forth a little bit. Alabama kind of extended it out to like 10 or 12, and then Kentucky never caught back up. Kind of kept the lead. They went on a run about the 10-minute mark. Second half, Alabama did kind of extended it out, and then they couldn't catch back up. Look, same thing with Alabama. Here's the Alabama. I've said this the whole year, and I think I've got this one. Feel like I got Alabama nailed a little bit. Alabama is better defensively than they were a year ago. Not a lot, but they are better.
They are.
Okay. They just don't shoot the three as a whole. I'm talking about whole picture.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations, Alabama fans, because I said this a couple of weeks ago, and they went out and hit like 18 or 19 threes or something in the game like the next week. And everybody's like, oh, I thought you said they couldn't hit the three. As a whole, they don't shoot the three as good as they did a year ago from a whole collective standpoint. And then, like I said, they broke the damn SEC record against somebody, Texas, I think so it was. They hit like 18 or something a few weeks ago. But when they hit the three, dude, you're playing for second because they can score. All right, Tennessee 77, Texas A&M 69. Great game. This game was a one-possession game until the last 20 seconds.
It was a terrific game.
It's an 8-point win for Tennessee, but it was a one-possession game until what's my guy's name, point guard I love so much?
It was Kai Ziegler.
Ziegler hits the three with like 20 seconds to go and kind of extended to 6, and then they ended up, winning by 8. But
we were sitting at Blind Pig, Laura and I were. We went out and did a little shopping.
That's your spot.
Got some stuff out. We like Blind Pig.
Yeah.
And we were sitting at Blind Pig. I was having a Ghost in the Machine.
Okay.
And we were watching that, and I told her, I said, this looks and feels like an Elite Eight game.
Yeah. When Tennessee scores, if Tennessee can be efficient scoring the basketball, they have that's just their weakness, right? Is they will defend your ass, no Tucker. But when they score, and it's particularly Ziegler's the one that's usually starting it all, when he can get the offense rolling, they're hard to beat, man.
No, they're very good for a reason. Texas A&M's very good.
Yeah. They're both good teams.
Wade Taylor the fourth, just
he's a dude.
That guy is nails, man. That guy.
Right, I get the broom stuff.
He's fearless. I mean, Broom's awesome.
We get the broom stuff.
Broom's a different
kind
of player.
A different player,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right. If you had a second pick, that's who everybody's gonna pick one. If you had a second pick, where does is Wade Taylor in the conversation?
I mean, I'm kind of partial to him because I like him a lot.
I do too.
Is he my second? Probably not, but boy, he's good.
What's my guy at Florida I like so much? The guard.
Oh, Clayton.
He's up there.
They're just a different kind of team because they're so balanced.
Mark Sears is. I
like Sears, but he's been exposed a little bit.
How about
this?
Mark Sears. It must be something with the Alabama fan base. Mark Sears is like the Jalen Milroe of Alabama basketball. They bench him, he comes back. They hate him, they love him. They can't make up their mind what they want to do.
Well, they've just put big guards on him, and when they put big guards on him, it negates him a little bit because he's not a big guy. He's 6'1".
Clayton. I like Clayton, but Wade Taylor. Wade Taylor's a top 5 player in the league. I'm good saying that. I like him, but Clayton's up there. Yeah, I like Clayton a lot.
Clayton right now, 17.1 points, 3.7 boards, 4 assists, shooting 45% from the floor. 6'3", 195-pound guy. They just real steady. They don't ask a lot from mid 15, 18, 13, 19, 19 in his last 5 games. He's just steady.
He's good, man.
Just a good team.
All right, the Arkansas Razorbacks, huge win.
This was a good game, too.
Great game.
This was a very entertaining game.
They win 92-85 against Missouri. Missouri came out, popped them in the mouth a little bit, and then Arkansas responds. Really good game, really all the way to the end. Another game that 7 points is really not an indication of how close this game was. But huge win for Arkansas. And I said it on Thursday. I said if they find a way to beat, it was Missouri. Who was the other one? It was Missouri that had another home game coming up later in the year. It's like the last game. They would get in the tournament. They won it. I said they had to win 1 for 2. Now they got a little they got things lined up for them, right? They got Texas coming to them.
Texas at home, at South Carolina Saturday. If they could find a way to win those 2 games,
I think they're in.
I think they'd be in at that point. I think Arkansas is in at 7-11. Who do they finish with? They finish with
here, I'll pull them up.
I can't remember. I don't remember who they have the last week. Mississippi State at home in the finale, and they go on the road somewhere.
They got Texas. They got Texas at South Carolina at Vandy, and then they got Mississippi State at home.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, in theory, they can win 3 out of the next 4.
Yeah,
and then that would put them at 8 and 10.
They'd be a lock.
All right,
they're a lock at 8 and 10.
Yeah, I think they're in. So they're playing well right now. So I'm there with them. All right, so Oklahoma beats, surprisingly, this was a surprise for me. They beat Mississippi State 93-87. This game was not as close as the score indicated. It was really it was a 14, 15-point game. Mississippi State clawed back to make it a 6-point game late in the game, but Oklahoma had extended it out on them pretty good. Again, about that 10-minute mark, that's always the magic in college basketball. They extended out, I think they even got it up to 14 or 16 points, and then Mississippi State clawed back, brought it back to 6. But Oklahoma played very well at home, kind of staying alive. I still don't see Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's out for me.
Big week.
I still think Oklahoma's out for me.
Big week.
I'm looking ahead, but I think Oklahoma's out for me. I know where they are in the net.
They could change everything with the big week. They get Kentucky at home.
I think they'll lose that game.
And they get at Ole Miss.
Yeah, and I think they lose that game. I think that's what I'm saying. It's a big week, but they go 0-2, they're out.
Yeah, but if they go 2-0, they're in.
I think they have to go 2-0 to have a chance. Don't you?
Yes, but listen, I think they're capable. I'm not saying they're going to win those 2 games, but I'm saying they're capable of winning those games.
Anybody in the league, I think, is capable. I do think Oklahoma's out though. Vandy beats Ole Miss 77-72. It's the same song and dance when Ole Miss gets beat. They're going to defend. Not having guard play.
They did not defend well in the first half.
No, that's
killed them.
Offensively, they're in they're almost not a rut's not the right word. Maybe it is the right word. Just offensively, they're not dynamic.
That's the better term.
And they get down. Was it 12-0? What was the score to start?
I don't know. They were down 19 at one point in the first half.
Yeah, they just dig themselves too much of a hole to dig out.
And so you spend all this energy getting back in, and they got back in,
and
then took the lead. They took a 2-point lead with about 8 minutes-ish to go. I don't have the exact time in front of me. I probably should have it memorized by now. And they went more than 5 minutes coming up without scoring.
Yeah.
And not only not scoring, but turning the ball over. And for Ole Miss to win, they have to shoot the ball fairly effectively, and they cannot turn it over because they're not good enough. They're just not good enough. I was having this conversation with a friend about teams. If you're Auburn, for example, Auburn's path to a victory is this big, wide open highway. Just put the car on the side and just drive and be smart. You don't have to be crazy. You don't have to. You can even play with the radio a little bit, right? You can do some stuff. I mean, you can keep your eye on the road, but you can have a conversation. You can sit with the person next to you and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" So what's happening with that? You can have a deep conversation. If you're Ole Miss, your path is like this. It's very narrow. It's winding, and you've got to focus. You don't have time to look for the game on the radio. You don't have time to talk to your friend about what's going on with Jenny. Nope. You got to get locked in, and sometimes Ole Miss gets just a little bit. They lose their focus, and then off the mountain they go, and that's their problem. And now when they're locked in and they focus on the road, they find a path sometimes. But here lately, they're having these spurts where they're like driving down the road, and all of a sudden it's like, who texted? And you look, and
you just can't play.
You can't be them.
You said the magic word for me, and I think there's a lot of teams like this. I think Tennessee's a team like this. Like, you cannot allow, when you struggle offensively, when you get up, when you're down 19 points in the first half, you spend so much energy getting back that once you get back, you're like, oh. And then you take a breath and you look down, you're down 5 or 6.
Now you're down 5 or 6 again. Yep.
And you see that a lot with teams that struggle offensively. But look, I still think, somebody said in the chat, and I agree with Alan, said in the chat, Beard's getting everything he can get out of this team. I think Chris Beard's an elite coach. They're a fun team to watch. I like watching defense. The effort's good. And like when you start out, did they start out 0-9 or was it 1-9?
They missed their first 9 threes.
So they missed their first 9 threes. I mean, okay, let's just say you go par for the course and you hit 30%, 33%.
Well, they probably win the game.
They probably win the game, right? So, I mean, you look down and, like, people – those early possessions matter. I always say this in college basketball. It's the last 10 minutes are where the game's at, right? But you can't forget the first 30 minutes happened too. And when you're constantly playing from behind and you're missing opportunities, it is what it is.
Our friend Mr. Kennedy in Maine might not agree with this. But if Aunt Sally had a pair, she'd be Uncle Bob,
Hey, no, that's my saying. Is my people used to one of my favorite sayings in the whole world. I like doing this saying in front of like really buttoned up crowds. Like I said it, I was speaking somewhere. I think I did this at the Memphis Touchdown Club, matter of fact. Everybody's in there freaking like nice stuff. I'm up there talking, and it was preseason, and I was doing a talk, and they were saying about, well, if somebody does this, they'll do this. And I said, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Fuck you asshole. I'm sorry.
The reactions you get from a really buttoned-up crowd, pretty priceless. It's good. I like that one.
I mean, it is what it is.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Maybe she is in Maine. All right. I'm so bad. We're still not canceled. TikTok, turn the page. We're great. All right, last game. And by gosh, Scoops.
Yep.
I'm very disappointed. I listened to your show this morning. I heard you talk about this credit.
You were the one that did it.
And you didn't even mention the word that you said. I said hot take.
You did.
South Carolina's going to get their first SEC win against Texas. You were like, oh, I can't go there. And you didn't even we didn't even have that conversation. South Carolina dominates the Texas Longhorns.
They did.
84-69.
You were clairvoyant. Prescient.
And what I really should be really clairvoyant about is I knew that in the first 16 minutes of that game that Texas was only going to score 12 points. I knew that.
You did.
I knew that. Yeah. I knew they were going to struggle shooting on the road.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
That's right. That's good, Grind. I like that one. Keep the main thing the main thing. I like that. That's great. But the score, like at the first TV timeout in this game, was like 3-2. I don't know how much. I actually watched the game.
I did not watch it.
I watched the game. It was like 3-2. But
I watched A&M Tennessee, Ole Miss Vandy, and Arkansas Missouri.
I caught a little bit of all of them.
I did see a little bit of Alabama Kentucky.
I was watching most of my phone early in the day when I was at the baseball game.
Congratulations. Great call on your part.
Yeah, how about that?
Gamecocks win.
Look,
Gamecocks
South Carolina's not bad.
No.
Okay, they're like a lot of teams in this league that they play better at home. Georgia played better at home. They're a handful, but they play really well at home. Like people forget, they were beating Florida, who's pretty damn good, by like 10 points late in the game. Florida goes on a late run, beats them by 1. They had Auburn on the ropes in South Carolina. Like they've played well on the road, and they finally got one. And then Texas is a different conversation. I think we're going to wake up and we're going to see Texas out of this thing too. That's what I think is coming.
Who does Texas have this week? I know they've got.
Well, they've
got at Arkansas.
They got to go at Arkansas, which I think Arkansas, I think they're 2 ships passing in the night. I think Arkansas is playing really well. I think it's a game Arkansas is playing with a sense of urgency. We'll go ahead and talk about the preview. But Texas is on the road on Wednesday at Arkansas. I think it's 2 ships passing in the night. I think Arkansas is playing out of their mind right now. Calipari's done a fantastic job of keeping them together, and a lot of teams could have quit. A lot of teams would have quit the way they started the SEC year.
They've done a really good job with how they use Janelle Davis.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name? Ivisic, the big tall.
Yes.
They've done
like that.
They've done a good job of asking him to do what he's good at and not asking him to not do what he is less efficient at.
Yeah.
And I just ended 2 sentences with the word "at." I'm very sorry to everyone involved.
That's what happens when you hang around me. English.
I'm very sorry, Mom.
But Texas has kind of hit a wall a little bit, and they're not playing overly great right now. And I think Arkansas beats them at home pretty handedly, actually. All right, Florida's at Georgia. Sleepy spot a little bit for Florida because Georgia's going to play well and they're going to play with a sense of urgency. I still think Florida takes care of business. Florida when it's like you were talking about that big wide road.
Yeah, like
Florida can be like not paying attention in the car, and then all of a sudden go, oh, we're down 5. Let me score 20 real quick.
Yeah, no, they're they're very,
whenever they put
good.
their eyes back on the road, they get going.
They are very good.
All right, interesting game for me. Mississippi State at Alabama. Very interesting game here, matchup wise. I'll be interested to see what happens here. Close game they played earlier in the season in Starkville. Return trip. Does Mississippi State I'm interested. I'm watching the game. I'm interested. think it's a really close game. I'd be scared to pick a side right now, to be honest, in that game. I think it's a matchup deal. Alabama may win, but I would lean toward Mississippi State covering in this game.
Yeah, I'm through predicting Mississippi State. Every time I think they've got it, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And they don't. Yeah. They're just on the coaster.
All right. Tennessee at LSU.
I mean,
careful spot here.
LSU's going to play them hard.
Plays hard at home.
Yep.
If Tennessee struggles offensively, it could be a rock fight. You don't ever know. So that's something to avoid there. All right, South Carolina, Missouri. I think Missouri blows the doors off South Carolina at home.
I tell you what, I watched Missouri on Saturday night, and even in a loss, I was really impressed.
Agree.
I mean, Caleb Grill missed some shots that he normally makes and probably would have changed the game a little bit, but they are tough. They do everything pretty damn well, and that is one composed team. They do not get rattled. I turned off the set after that one pretty high on the Tigers.
Dude, I think they're legit. I do.
I do too. That's what I'm saying. I think you told me Missouri's Sweet 16, Elite 8, I totally buy it.
Missouri's going to be a matchup nightmare for teams not like the SEC is kind of used to it a little bit. They've played them. That was my interesting thing. I said this in a live today. We talk about 12, 13, whatever, however many teams end up in the damn tournament, right?
Yep.
Is these matchups where they see people is how early do SEC versus SEC happen if they go and run? Because that was going to be.
They should do everything in their power to prevent it from happening before the Sweet 16.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ole Miss is at Auburn. Don't like the Rebels' chances here.
Pain. What's your forecast?
Pain. I don't like the Rebels' chances here. It would surprise me if they won.
Won?
It would. I don't. Now, when you're talking about being competitive and all that, a close game, dude. This is it. I don't.
Auburn. Look, in fairness to Arkansas and Georgia, the last couple of teams that have played there have given Auburn some problems, and they've stayed in the game and they've been respectable. Arkansas was in the game late. I don't know that I trust Ole Miss to score like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Auburn has played with their food a little bit at home and kept things tighter than the lines say. So I'm not sitting here you know what I'm saying? Like the lines with Auburn have been weird all year.
Georgia had a good plan for Auburn in the first half. They threw a zone at them that Bruce admitted they did not prepare for. And so they had to kind of go in at halftime and adjust a little bit, and then they did what Auburn does. But it's a really good league. There's no bad teams. There's just no bad team in the league. We've talked about that all year, and it's true. And
it's crazy.
Auburn's just
it's a refreshing deal.
Boy,
it's refreshing though.
I mean, beating Auburn there, and Florida did it, but beating Auburn there is a lot to ask of anybody.
All right, Vandy is at Texas A&M.
I think this is going to be a fun game.
I don't.
Well,
I think A&M. I think A&M blows the doors off of them.
In the words of Mr. Kennedy, I'm kidding. You think A&M blows the doors off of them?
Yeah. I think A&M's at home. I mean, you're talking about A&M who just lost a home game. A&M losing 2 home games.
Vandy's got a weird little deal here because who do they have left? They've got at A&M. Then they're home against somebody.
All right, they're at A&M. They're home against Missouri.
They're
home against Arkansas. And they're on the road at Georgia, which is not like Vanderbilt does not play.
That last week is weird for them because Arkansas could beat them. They could beat Arkansas. And I think they could lose in Athens on senior day.
They don't play well on the road.
Yeah.
And that's just their night and day team. So Vandy's won 1 game in conference play on the road, and that was at LSU. Okay, they've lost to Missouri on the road. They've lost to Alabama on the road. They lost to Oklahoma on the road. They lost to Florida on the road. They lost to Tennessee, and they've lost to Kentucky on the road. And I'm not talking about losing like close games. All right, they lost to Missouri by 9. They lost to Alabama by 20-something. They lost to Oklahoma by 30. They lost to Florida by 11. That was when they were actually up big in that game against Florida at Florida. And then Florida came back and did what Florida does, scored big runs. Mm-hmm. And then they lose the Tennessee game, which they'd already beaten. But they lose to Tennessee and they lose to Kentucky by 21 points. They don't play well on the road. And so they got to go that 2 Georgia game at the end of the year. But they could get in a situation where they could go 0 to end the year here.
Yeah, that would not be advisable.
That would put them at 6-12.
That would be suboptimal.
So what do you think they got to get to 8?
I think Vandy to feel good needs to get to 8.
All right,
I think they've got to go 2-2 down the stretch.
So that means they
just win their home games.
Okay, that means they have to beat 2 of these 4: A&M, Missouri, Arkansas, and Georgia. The window is narrow.
The deal is the best path is winning the 2 home games, and they can do it.
You think they can beat Missouri at home?
Can they? Sure. They beat Tennessee and Kentucky at home. They beat Ole Miss at home. Can they beat Missouri at home? Yeah. Do I think they're going to? I don't. Do I think they can beat Arkansas at home? I do. Do I think they will? Probably.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight.
It's kind of a weird spot there. Like if you told me Arkansas went there and won, I'd buy it. Because Arkansas here down the stretch has played pretty damn well.
I mean, look, and I don't know, man. I mean, you're looking at, we keep saying 8, right? Who's to say 7 ain't going to
Well, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. Like we say 8. 8 doesn't, what we say is so stupid. Who cares? I mean, I now believe a 7-11 SEC team is going to get in. I do.
At least to the play-in game.
Well,
Dayton
counts. It's a first-round game.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
It's treated like one. It's everything's, the signage is one. Even they won't even let you bring your water on the court because you have to pour it into a Powerade cup.
Grind brings up a good point here. Let's say a team goes 7-11, but they win a couple in the SEC tournament. I think that will help.
Well, I mean, we
said that.
We thought that in the past. I mean, there was a couple of years ago that we, everybody went in going, A&M's got to win 1 or 2 in the tournament to get in. They won 3 in the tournament and then lost in the final and they didn't get in. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to answer all of that in a vacuum.
And then Kentucky is at Oklahoma.
Big spot for the Sooners, man. Big
spot.
Big.
I think Kentucky takes care of business, but
you hate Oklahoma. God, you're so
don't hate
mean.
Oklahoma.
You do. You come in here. And
I love Oklahoma.
No matter what we try to say about Oklahoma, you're like they suck. And I'm like, what?
That is not true.
And you're like, they're horrible, badly coached, poor administration.
No,
the people there are rednecks.
They're a quick you client. I love them.
You're like, I despise those people.
I actually love the administration.
Jeremiah Fears is a loser. I mean, you just keep going on and on.
Hey, by the way, we're like 4 months away from doing this. Oklahoma's going to be one of my surprise SEC football teams this year. Just write that down.
Can you get a helmet?
Yeah, probably could. I need to do a better job of that.
We need some helmets. We can put them here on the thing, on the desk.
I have to do a better job at doing that. I could probably do that pretty easy. All right, and then
get us some sweatshirts.
We said this. Yeah, we said this earlier. Last thing, big game tonight. If you're a college basketball fan, not SEC, Houston at Texas Tech.
Yeah, big game.
Big game.
Yeah,
both of those
be crazy in Lubbock tonight.
Yeah, both of those are in the KemPom top. It's for me. Texas Tech beat them in overtime at Houston by 1, which was a great game. I watched it before. I think it's the line was at 2. Like I would take Texas Tech plus the points. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's a 1 or 2 point game either way. I don't think anybody's blowing anybody out tonight. And if anybody did blow somebody out, I would take the home team.
Hey, on a somber note.
All right.
Something you and I are both interested in. Clint Hill, the Secret Service agent who attempted to shield John F. Kennedy from his assassination in 1963. He was the personal Secret Service agent directed to Jacqueline Kennedy. He passed away today at the age of 93. I read his book. I reached out to him a few times, actually trying to get him on the podcast, and was unsuccessful.
I literally
as his health was beginning to deteriorate.
Well, I literally watched a documentary with him in it. They're releasing some of these new documentaries with sensitive files and stuff. And he did not look healthy. He was in a chair with the oxygen on, so it did not look good. But
passed away at the age of 93.
How about that? Because he was telling the whole story. It was a National Geographic documentary that was going through the hour by hour, of the day. And he was talking about how, Jacqueline Kennedy, they wanted her, like he brought her there to help campaign, and she didn't go to the breakfast, and he had to go.
Yeah, had to go get her.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but he told the whole story. That's pretty crazy.
He never really got over that. He served 4 presidents as a Secret Service agent. It was with Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
And may have even served forward at one point for a brief period of time. But he was a witness to a lot of history for sure.
Yeah, a lot of them are in and out now. So
yeah.
Scoops, we've been brought to you by our good friends at PTG Outdoors. You can discover Garmin at PTG Outdoors. From cycling and running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings innovation to your fitness journey. You can track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision for cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments, available now at PTGOutdoors.com. And we've talked about it earlier, and they're still there. Big savings are happening right now at Kia of Meridian. You can get $10,000 in rebates and 0% financing on select vehicles. Plus, for a limited time, we're matching your down payment up to $2,500. That means more car for your money.
It's magic.
All month long. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit Kia of Meridian today. Kia of Meridian, where great deals drive home with you. Give them a call at area code 601-483-6444. And don't forget.
Oh, man. Here we go. So unbelievable. I can't even imagine the excitement that is connected to this.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Brandon's going to bust out a wheel, and I'm just going to say spin the wheel forever. Everybody's going to get a wheel. Because you know what happens if you buy something from Kia Meridian?
Is he coming to Talladega?
Who's that? Brandon. I think so. I haven't talked to him lately, but I'm pretty sure.
If he would bring a wheel.
No, well, Brandon's at PTG Outdoors. I got to talk to Trav and see if Trav's
coming. Maybe Brandon can bring one too. Could Trav bring a wheel? We could spin it.
We can work something.
We don't have to give stuff away. Just spin the damn wheel.
Just spin the wheel and win awesome prizes.
Can you imagine how excited people
Or we can make our own wheel and put like a Diet Miller, a Rain. Like we can put things on there.
We could do that.
Yeah. And if you show that you are subscribed to the podcast, you get to spin the wheel.
Oh, now you're thinking,
man.
Maybe we get some T-shirts. If you spin the wheel, you land on a T-shirt.
Hey, we could do some things. We could probably figure some things out there. Look at you, boy.
Look at that. Look at me. You're like a marketing genius.
You know, I'm not as dumb as I look.
Well, no,
just half as dumb.
If you were as dumb as you looked,
I'd be like this guy's got like a 0 on the test score. Not very good. But you can spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian.
He says, if I can make it today, I'll bring the wheel. Look at us making things happen right here.
The wheel works. Yeah, how about this? We'll get us a swamp water. Bob will be there. We'll go Rain and Diet Miller for the swamp water. You got to chug there's got to be punishment part of it too. You got to spin the wheel to risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The wheel's got to. What's it? The no whammies, and it pops up whammies.
Yes.
We can have all your money's gone, and he laughs at you.
We can have like a dunk tank. We can do it. We can get us a dunk tank. Well, we can do this thing. We'll get crazy.
You're over promising now, but we could spin the wheel and make you drink a swamp water.
I'm talking it into existence. We could get crazy. Could be fun. Swamp water is where it's at, though. Change your life.
We are brought to you each and every show by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine. BCAA's electrolytes, 0 sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve every single one of your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Trav says he brought the Coors Light girls today before, so he can bring a wheel.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's right.
That's right.
Did you figure out what driver you're pulling for yet?
One of the monster ones. We still got to talk about it. It's a show in and of itself. We discuss who we should get on, who I should be supporting, who I should be cheering for, so that when they win, I can go to the winner's circle afterwards and celebrate.
Should do that.
We're having a call tomorrow. By the way, you don't have to do it. I'll handle it for our post Talladega speaking engagement.
Oh,
ironing all of that out tomorrow.
You getting all the details worked out?
Getting all the details worked out tomorrow. Listen to this. Listen, only in America. I'm not going to give you details yet because why? People are going to pay us to come speak to their company retreat. So listen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, even you, Mr. Kennedy.
What if we got a speaking engagement
in Maine?
In the Maine State Department. I think we've I think we got canceled by that. I think that speaking engagement.
I don't think we're speaking to the governor's office staff retreat. But listen, if you just breathe, you never know. You might one day get paid to go speak to people. We are getting paid to go speak to people. They actually are wanting to hear us. What are the odds? I mean, show me another country on the globe. You could, instead of spin the wheel, you could spin the globe and you won't find another country where there would be people crazy enough to pay us to come speak to their company retreat.
They're being very brave to have that right after Talladega. I don't know if my CTE will have recovered by then. It could be a lot of slurred.
Well, that's
words.
why I said, well, maybe we should travel Monday and talk Tuesday.
I'll be tired, boss.
Okay.
He's just tired. It's okay. He's just tired. He's just tired.
So anyway, thanks to Rain. We'll be back with you guys on Thursday. Have a great week. Until then, talk to you soon. Bye.